Feels good. So we had a little change of plans. We were just going to get enough fertilizer for the hay fields and that's it, because we kind of missed the opportunity to do the milk cow fields because of all the rain. We wouldn't have been able to get on the fields. Yeah, so what we ended up deciding is going ahead and doing the milk cow fields now, because there's enough Tipton 85 coming up and enough coastal where there is coastal starting to green up and come alive. So we figure we go ahead and do them too, and that'll help wake up the Bermuda grass, and then it'll also help push a little more better quality on the winter rye for the little life that it has, and maybe help stretch it out some, since we didn't get to plant any ryegrass this year. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now. Is we're doing the milk cow fields. We ended up getting 20 more tons. It took 24 tons to do the hay fields, and we got about 20 tons to do for the milk cow fields. So that's what we're doing right now. Yesterday I wasn't in too much of a mood to have the camera going, and we got the truck back like at 4:30ish afternoon, so I was just going to try to hurry and do as much as I could. I ended up getting about 80 acres done, but on the very first time to fill up, the freaking auger plugged up. It took about 45 minutes to get it undone. Had the 3-foot long pipe wrench. Had like 3-foot long pipe wrench on the end, trying to turn it by hand. My arms were burning, I was wore out, and ended up opening the trap door and pouring some on the ground. It was actually right here, shoveled it all up. So yeah, it was no bueno. What happened was, I think it fertilizer melted and went down to the end, and when it came on, it just plugged it up. Need a little more throttle. So we're just coming in the back way to avoid cow traffic, and I'll show you something pretty cool that we did when we first got this truck. My dad did it. He bolted these to the frame so we'd have a way to pull it out when we get stuck. And then well, those have gotten used probably several dozen times. And he took the old drawbar off a tractor, bolted it to the frame here. He's got a hook here so we can pull it out backwards. Now, we have one issue that's happening right now, is fertilizer eats the metal really bad and rusts it out. So this is actually probably helping this side. You can see the frame is getting rusted out. We're actually hitting, leaf springs are straight, but the frame is starting to be pulled out. So we're rubbing right there on this side. And then, see, the bed's still good. The bed from here up is just regular steel, and then down here, all this down here is stainless steel. The paddles are stainless steel. Obviously that's stainless steel. You can see the rust on there. This piece here has only been used one time. That's regular steel and it's all rusted out. That piece is the original piece, so it's like 8 years old, and you can see how, look at that right there, compared to this side. So on this side of the frame, back in the fall, we put these bolts in, and this side's a lot worse. We're hitting really hard here and here, and then starting to crack there. If you can see how much it's leaning out or being pulled out from the bottom. So yeah, looks like the last like 3 foot is really bad. Every time we use it, we wash it. We wash it really good. Try to keep it in a dry environment, but with the fertilizer just eats it. So the bed's still good. I mean, it's still completely usable. The truck, on the other hand, I mean, I don't know if we're gonna do something this year or not. We were talking about it last year, and looking at it right now, may have to be getting a new truck or something like that. We have a buggy that we don't use anymore, and the whole hopper on it's stainless steel. It's just sitting up at the barn. It needs new hoses, new paddles. The paddles are rusted off, gone. Probably new tires. It needs quite a bit more work. It probably would be cheaper to take the hopper off and just put it on a truck with some new paddles. But anyway, so I don't know what's gonna happen, if we're gonna just keep trying to use this one till the bed falls off, or if we're gonna try to get a new truck. I mean, milk price is kind of putting a hamper on anything like that. We'll just have to see if a new truck is what's gonna happen, or if we're gonna be using this one till, like I said, till the bed falls off. Anyway, so we're back here in the back. Like I said earlier, I did 80 acres yesterday. I did most of the new land. I got 3 fields left to do. The cows are on one. No, cows are on 2 of them, and they were on 1 of them yesterday afternoon. So I still got those 3 fields to do over there. And I've done 1 field out here. We're crossing where the dry cows were sacrificed, so this field has to be plowed up and sprigged this year. So we'll just get started up here, running back and forth, and so we'll see how we get going on this fertilizer. I tried to do all the low spots yesterday. It's kind of soft right here at the gate. I'm gonna stop back here. We've had about 2 weeks of 70-degree weather during the day. Yeah, probably almost 2 weeks, and then upper 50s, lower 60s at night. It's been really nice weather. It's been drying out. This morning it was actually really warm. I just had a t-shirt on, and then probably about 10 o'clock, front rolled in. It rained just enough to get everything wet, so hopefully it melted in a lot of the fertilizer that we put out in the last couple days. And then it probably dropped 20 degrees, so I bet right now we're in the upper 50s with the wind blowing maybe probably close to 30 miles an hour. So we're supposed to have that for a couple days, and then warm back up. So you get a little bit of a running start at this. So we're pulling into 14. We just left field 15. Yeah, this used to be the furthest we would go from the dairy barn, which is like 9/10 of a mile. Oh man, the hogs tore this one up pretty good. Now the field across from that, which is 55 on that new land piece, that's the furthest that the cows walk, and it's right at a mile. I fertilized that one yesterday. Yeah. This field was grazed off about a week ago. I was gonna take you and show you the cereal rye, but the wind's blowing way too hard. I think it'd just be a waste of time. Audio would be really bad. But you can see it blowing in the wind in field 13. It's what you'd call in the boot stage, or throwing a flag, which means it's got a stem, and it's usually got one leaf hanging out there like a flag on a flagpole. If we weren't grazing it off as hard as we are and keeping it short, it would probably already be throwing a seed head. Which, as a matter of fact, I know a place that where we cleared the woods last year that's been too wet to graze at all. I mean, like, it's seriously wet down there. But anyway, that's already got seed heads. So, like in this field, any little tall spots you see, that most likely that's where a pile of crap is that the cows left behind from the previous grazing, or previous time that it was grazed. So when they come back, they usually eat around those. Perfect example of the flag right there. Let me show you this real fast so you understand what I'm talking about, for those who've never seen this. Oh, well, that's a seed head right there, just starting to come out. And I was going to show, so this is the stem, and this is what you'd say is starting to flag, throwing this leaf out right here, like these are. So that seed head's right in here right now, just ready to come out. Yeah. There's one piece that, I don't know why, for whatever reason, it was left longer. You can see that the flag got bit off by something, but there's the seed head right there. There's seed head. But this right here is what you'd say is when you would say it's starting to flag. So so that's what I'm talking about. It's basically at the end of its life. Well, here's just a, it's not as good as one I could find, but in this certain spot it is. That's tipped in 85 right there, trying to wake up and come green. So basically the reason that we're putting out this fertilizer right now is to get them to basically give them a swift kick in the nuts and get it to take off. Anyway, so that's what I'm talking about when I say it's throwing a seed head, or it's in the boot stage, or it's flagging. It's just terms that you use. See, like 13 over here, it's got a lot of grass that's flagging, but 13 would be in In about 5 days we'll be grazing that field, so it's still all good edible stuff. The cows will eat it. I mean, it's losing its quality. It's losing its quality every day now. It's kind of going downhill. But yeah, I don't really like this field. It's a pain in the ass to drill, that's for sure. Alright, so what I was saying is it's losing its quality every day now. It's just going downhill. It's wanting to head out. It's done with. Okay, now we're down over here in 13. 14 was kind of a bad example. You can see 12 is going to get grazed starting tomorrow morning. You can see it's a lot better looking. 13 still about 5 days out. And I think where I left off in 14 was, what I was saying was the cereal rye, you know, yeah, it's heading out. And so if you weren't going to graze it no more, it would, so if you pulled the cows off and you didn't graze it anymore, it would just start going, you know, anywhere from waist to chest high, and then with a big old seed head on it. Late June, early July, it would be brown and ready to harvest the seed. We don't want that to happen. We need to stay on top of it, and we need to graze it down as hard and as tight as we can. For one thing is to ensure quality. Yeah, this is losing quality every day. I think I already said that. But the only way, the more mature it gets, the taller it grows, the less protein it has in it. Really, the less digestibility it has, because it's more stemmier and bulkier, for lack of better words. And yeah, I mean, we're kind of just at the very end right now, and that's the new land right there that we've been clearing. So yeah. It's kind of hard to drive and talk and explain, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, this year's been a bad example. This may have been one of the worst years yet since we've done intensive grazing for the last 8-9 years. Last year, I'll throw a picture in of what it looked like last year about this time. We had so much grass that I was bringing the red heifers over to graze it. Right now it's not even really getting ahead of the cows. Only reason it might be is just because it's trying to throw a flag, but it's not as good as quality as it can be, or that it was. So we're just trying to ride it out right now. Our Tifton 85 is starting to come up, and we just need them two to overlap each other, which like I said, we didn't plant any ryegrass this year, which that's what ryegrass really works well, meeting or filling in the gap between your winter rye and your summer grass, your Bermuda. Really, the ryegrass is like a 3 to 4 week window where where it pays off to have. That's one reason that we're putting this fertilizer out now. Not really for the winter rye, more for the Tipton 85 to come on and get going. And we've been grazing the winter rye since I think it was about the first or second week in December when we started grazing, and now it's the last day of March, so almost 4 months, about 100 days worth of grazing. So, and with the rain that we've had, I mean, they've taken some abuse. So with all that considered, I mean, it's not that bad. So now we're in 16. 16 was grazed off about a week ago. So you see how it's more even. There's still the circles. Yeah. I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera, but I still have to fertilize this field, and that field across the lane is on the new land. That's number 53. The low group just had it yesterday afternoon. Was their last break in the very back over the hill. You can see how even that is all the way across, and then so anywhere where a cow took a pee or took a crap, I mean, that's going to grow a little quicker just because of the fertilizer that's in that. So, you know, and the pea has nitrate in it, or has some nitrogen in it, so it'll help grow grass. And sometimes it's high enough that it'll actually burn the grass. But yeah, I mean, right there, that's what we're shooting for right now. That just exposes the ground, it lets the 85 come up, and lets it have plenty of sunlight. So yeah, the weird thing about intensive grazing is the whole farm every field is at a different level. There's no one field that's the same as another. So that's a tricky part about managing grass in an intensive manner, is that it's you don't have one field the same as another, so you're always looking at it, you're always judging it, you're always trying to figure out, where to go. I mean, in your head, you might see a field, you're like, oh, that one looks a little bit better, but you got to stay on your round. You can't start jumping around, skipping around. That's the fastest way to screw up and run out of grass. You got to stay on it. You got to keep up with it. You got to know when to pull the trigger and graze harder, or go from 12 hours to 24 hours, because things can change pretty quick. And it's once you start watching it every day, it's amazing how fast grass can grow. So you see here, I would get out and walk through them, but the wind's blowing, and I don't know if you'd be able to really hear me. But this is this is group 2, the old cows, the high producing old cows, and you can kind of tell in this corner the grass is a little greener and a little thicker, and I guarantee you the reason for that being is that's where the last grazing that field had, that's where they laid down at night or something, and so it's covered in poop right there. And so spots like that becomes a little tricky to get you can actually see in this field, you can see all the old piles of manure. I mean, and they've only been out here for probably 3 hours, so I still got several hours for them to go. Most of them are laying down, but you can see up here where they've picked it a lot cleaner. So here in a few hours, and then right about where that cow's standing is where the break from last night was. So from that white cow back to where we just came from, that's where the break they just had starting this morning was. And then they'll have the back tonight again, and then they'll move to the next field. But in several hours from now, they'll get a little hungrier, and then all the good stuff's gone, and then they'll go around and pick up the less appetizing areas, if you will, and they'll really get that field cleaned up nice. And then so right here's the first break that they had last night. You can see all the piles of manure, and I mean, really, they cleaned it up well. I wish I could show you what it looked like before, but obviously I wasn't planning on doing that. So we'll make a lap around this field and we'll close out the video. I know I probably rambled way too long. Editing this is going to be a nightmare, but I was just trying to make it clear what I'm talking about or whatever. But I mean, this field didn't have near as much ryegrass in it or cereal rye in it as the other ones, because this was 2 years ago. Where we are right now was pure woods, almost jungle-like, and so the fertility in the soil here is not near as good as it is on some of them other fields. I mean, the other fields have had a lot of manure put on them, and these are just starting off. So that low group, they're actually coming right now. They're going into this field here. And that field looked like this field yesterday before the cows grazed it off. So, I can, in this field, because it was a little more open, the ryegrass is not as thick and maybe not sucking out the nutrients as much as the other fields were. I can see a lot more Tipton 85 in this field than I can the other ones. Yeah, so you can see right there, that's where the reel was. So the cows grazed that off last night, and then they're coming into this section here, and right there's where the reel was. You can see the line. So that's the whole plan of what we're doing right now, is just not fertilizing, really, the cereal rye. I mean, if it greens up some and pushes its life a little longer, that's a bonus. But we're trying to, like I said, get the Tipton 85 going and taking off to fill in that gap, since we don't have ryegrass this year planted. So I hope I made sense. I hope I didn't ramble too long. And with that, we'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Drop me a comment below, rate, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.